Hey y'all, Steve Ritter again. Just checking in again. Appreciate all the support and everything. I just continue to be overwhelmed with all the support and all the kind words. I also pretty overwhelmed with the subscribers that keep popping up and everything else. I do appreciate that, and I continue to get a big kick out of this. Hope you've enjoyed the menus and the recipes and everything so far. Again, I've got the all the recipes kind of organized. And I've got a few now on my short list that I'm going to get to. Some ones that I think Mom hadn't had a chance to get to. Some oldies as well. So that's kind of what's in the future. I just wanted to take a quick minute and kind of go over a few things. Some people have asked some questions about me. Thought I'd share some things. A little bit of background on me and what I've done. I graduated high school in 1986. And I went off to the Citadel. And I went through a lot of pictures Mom had that I had forgotten existed, and I went through and found some old pictures, and I'm going to kind of go through some of those. But I went off. This was my freshman year picture, so it's a military college in South Carolina, the Citadel, and one of the first things they do is cut your hair. So that's my freshman year picture right there. I have a little more hair than I did then, but certainly a few more wrinkles and age. But I remember one of the funny things was here's Parents' Weekend, my freshman year. So I went there. I weighed probably about 180 pounds, I guess, when I went there in 1986 as a freshman. And I think probably in the first 2 months, I lived up on the fourth floor of the barracks. And once you're inside the barracks as a freshman, you have to double time everywhere. You have to run everywhere inside the barracks. And I lived up on the fourth floor, and you have to run all the way up to the stairs and all the way to your room. So it's like running wind sprints all day long. So I went from you running a mile in maybe 11:30, something like that, to a 6.5 minute mile is what I three short months later. So it's like running wind sprints every day. So as you can tell from this picture, I didn't weigh 180 pounds there. I got down to about 150. I lost about 30 pounds in about 3 months there. The first time I came home, Bucky came to get me and brought me back up home. And I walked in the front door, and my mom was, I don't know, she was cooking something or whatever, but I'll never forget her face. She turned around and saw me, and it wasn't, "Hey, Stephen, oh, I missed you." It was, "Don't they feed you there?" So, and they do. It's just if you aren't Johnny on spot with the answers at the mess table, then they keep asking you questions. You don't get a chance to eat. So as long as you know your stuff, you get to eat. So I learned that real quick. So, but a lot of it was cooking off baby fat, really. But second year, this is my sophomore year. A little more hair, as you can see. That was my sophomore year, and kept moving along. I changed majors a couple of times. I went from electrical engineering to chemistry, and ended up with biology. I was a biology major. I had big plans to go to medical school. That was kind of what I was thinking, and I went from Army ROTC. When I found out how early they have to get up in the morning, then I changed to Air Force. But I kind of was, of course, like every other red-blooded American young man in 1986, I went to see Top Gun. So I had the idea that I wanted to fly. And I was thinking that, and I was thinking my eyes weren't very good, and so I was like, well, I think I want to be a doctor, and that's kind of what Mom always kind of held out for, that I would be a doctor. And I remember, to this day, I still remember going in, and they made me, I had to get a full-up physical, pre-commissioning physical. So I went and got the full-up deal, and I'm like, well, I don't want the full one. I just want, regular physical. And they're like, "Ah, no, just get it." And because I didn't think I'd be pilot qualified anyway. I didn't think my eyes were good enough. It turns out they were. And I remember the day I went in there, and they were like, "Yeah, you're pilot qualified." And I was like, I swear, I think the birds were chirping a little louder, and and the sky was a little bluer and all that, and I'm like, oh man, is this? And from that moment on, that was in 1980, 1987. That was spring of '87 is when I got that word, or no, spring of '88. That's when it was, spring of '88. So so from that moment on, I wanted to fly. So this is my junior year. I started getting a little bit more responsibility, and you can see I had signed a contract, so you can see the little silver wings there. That's a contract badge. So I was committed to go into the Air Force. I started doing real well, and the rank and responsibilities that I was picking up. Here's a picture of one weekend. Mom and Bucky and this Ernie came down to see me at the Citadel for some parade or something. Continued to do real well. My senior year, I was a company commander. This was me from a screenshot from a video that Mom took. So I was a company commander of India Company, I Company. That's what I did. That's also a Summerall Guard. Here's a picture, an action shot that was taken. Mom got this. That's me right there. That's Joel Fortenberry right there. So this is me moving around. So Mom took that picture, and I don't know if she ever posted that or anything else, but she did a painting from that picture, and I've got it here. This is a picture that she had done. She changed it up a little bit. That picture I showed you, we were in a football stadium up in Tennessee. This was she changed the background a little bit to kind of show the Citadel. I don't know if you can see the tower in the background there. She changed it up a little bit. It's real nice. So I got this now. Keep that picture. So really enjoyed that. Ernie, my senior year, Ernie showed up. He was a freshman in the company right over next to mine. This is me and him in the barracks senior year. That was 1989. This is my senior year picture. So again, if you see the trend, a little bit more hair every year. It's like, man, it's a few more years at that rate, I would have had a ponytail, right? So this was me at graduation. General Claudius Watts there handed me my diploma. That was a happy day. And then off into the real world. Now I found this picture, and then Mom and Bucky had taken this. So I was commissioned in the Air Force, and I came on active duty in April 15th, 1991. So I had about a year off. I worked room service. I worked at the Citadel summer camp. So basically a few odd jobs here and there just to hang out or whatever. This is actually a picture of me on April 15th packing the car up to go to my first duty assignment. I went to be an aircraft maintenance officer in Oklahoma. That's me off on my way, kind of a roundabout route to becoming a pilot, but the Air Force at the time had too many. They didn't have enough seats, cockpits, so they recategorized some of us. So I didn't get to go to pilot training until later. I went later to pilot training, and I've got some pictures of that time, but this is I ended up flying I flew the T-37 in pilot training, and then I ended up flying the T-1, and this is me and my wife the day I got my wings. So that was a real big day, and Mom and Bucky and my dad came out to see. This is me and Bucky. That's the ceremony we had where I got my wings. It was a happy day. This is me and my wife again out front getting the wings. It's interesting. She was carrying my second son at that time, so that William's in that picture too. He's just kind of covered up a little bit. So, and here's my wife pinning my wings on my chest. She did not stick me. She's a pro. Here's my mom and my dad when I got my wings as well. So, and then so I graduated pilot training in 1995. I met my wife at my first duty assignment in Oklahoma as well. So, interesting story about Altus, Oklahoma. This was my first duty assignment. I met my wife there. My first son was born there. I came back through Altus. I got the C-17 is the airplane that I got out of pilot training. That's a picture of the C-17 there. That's the plane I flew in the Air Force, which, by the way, the training's in Altus, Oklahoma. And when I was there going through initial training, son number 2 was born, and you saw him in the previous picture. My wife was carrying him at the time. He was born there in September of 1995. And then I came back through Altus various times for training and everything else, and then I came back there for an assignment. This is right before I went back for an assignment. This was Nathan, and that's William and me sitting in the C-17 cockpit there. So Mom had come down and was taking some pictures. So it was an air show. They came down for that. So I went back through for training in Oklahoma a couple of times, and then I was stationed there, and I was stationed there as an instructor when son number 3 was born there. Benjamin was born in Oklahoma, and then my daughter was born 2 years later in 2002. So all 4 of my children were born there, and I met my wife there, got married there, and it seems that destiny's interlinked there with Altus, Oklahoma, it would seem. So, but I finished up there. I did a year at school in New Jersey. I did a staff assignment in Germany. Two assignments in Germany actually over the years, and then I was a squadron commander in McChord Air Force Base in Washington, Seattle. Tacoma actually is where it's at. So I ended up retiring in 2014 from Stuttgart, Germany. I was at UCON headquarters of the European Command, staff job there. So I retired in 2014 after 23 years and 7 months active duty. I retired as a colonel. So that's my career in a nutshell. A lot of that, I've seen a lot of places in the world, a lot of places where you're from. Had one nice lady the other day from Nigeria left a nice note, and I asked her. I've been to Nigeria, I've been to a lot of places in the world. Haven't been to Australia. I've always wanted to go there. I've been to a lot of places all around Africa, most of Europe, Canada certainly. I've over the years traveling, England plenty. So I've traveled around quite a bit, seen a lot of places. So anyway, I just wanted to share a little bit about that and just touch base. It's been a couple of days since I've posted one of these, and just kind of answer a few of your questions that you've had over the time of what I've done and what I am. So I'm not an accountant. I'm a pilot. So right now what I do is I teach simulator. I'm a simulator instructor for the C-17. So I'll work overseas. There's a couple of places in the Middle East and India that I'll travel over for a month or 2 at a time and train those countries' pilots, because India has the C-17, United Arab Emirates has a C-17, Qatar has a C-17. Go over and train some of those pilots and do that. And I'll travel over for a month at a time, and sometimes, and I'm planning to go full-time soon, so we'll see how that goes. But that's if you have any other questions or anything else, look down that way and leave a comment. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and let me know if you have any other questions. I'm going to post the next video. I'm going to talk a little bit about my time in Canada when I was a kid, and we'll post that, and we'll talk to you soon. We'll see you all next time.